Hello everyone, it's been about a year since I've done one of these plugin folder type of videos, so I figured now's the time to talk about the plugins that I'm actually using on basically every mix. And what I'm going to do is briefly explain the plugins. They are not in any particular order, mostly alphabetically and by platform type. So VST 2.4 plugins first, and then VST 3 after that, just because not every plugin supports VST 3 yet. So first of all, 80 Clip 7 is actually a plugin that I would normally put on the mix bus or the master bus, depending on what we're talking about. But yeah, what this does is basically make your mixes louder without destroying them. For me, this is the replacement for Slate Digital FGX, which version 2 never came out. So this one simply works better, bottom line. Although I don't use it as much these days because of the loudness wars not being that big of a deal. But if you do require loudness, this is one to definitely check out. Echo Boy. Oh, I love Echo Boy. Echo Boy's never going to get old because delay effects are something that every mix needs, and Echo Boy simply is a great plugin. And it's the one that I definitely recommend to every audio engineer out there because you will buy this plugin and that's all you'll need for delay. I mean, yeah, you can buy other delays, but this one simply fulfills most of your needs. I will say this though, I did really like Acoustica Audio's Lemon plugin, but I think Echo Boy has more options, but Lemon sounds better subjectively. Echo Boy sounds great, don't get me wrong, but Lemon adds that last 10% of quality. I don't have Lemon, so Echo Boy's fine. I could die with just Echo Boy for the rest of my life and I'll be happy. So anyway, yeah, I highly recommend it. Loudmax is a plugin I've been using, oh man, probably since I think 2009. And it just simply works. It works very well on, I love it on bass guitar in particular. I love it on the mix bus sometimes, although I'm usually using another plugin for that. But acoustic guitar and bass guitar, electric guitar to an extent. I haven't really tried it on vocals, but Loudmax just in general is something you can slam a signal on and it doesn't mess it up that much. And by the way, it's free. Although if you like it, donate to the developer. And Sound Toys, once again, just like with Echo Boy, they know delay. And this plugin is my go-to on anything that I want to pop out of the mix without it sounding like it's buried in the mix. So this gets used on vocals very often. It gets used on lead guitars. Basically anything that should be the attention, I think this plugin sounds great on. Vocal Doubler. I actually forgot about this plugin, and truth be told, I don't use it on every mix because Echo Boy and Micro Shift are usually what I use on vocals, but if I want more of a pop sound to my vocals or any other instrument that could use this type of effect, yes, it's awesome and it's a freebie and you should check it out too. Alright, my next little box of stuff. First up, we have not just another Dither CD version. If I am down converting to 16-bit audio, I'm going to use this plugin or I'm going to use Ozone's M-Bit Plus. Those are my only two options as far as I'm concerned. And this one might be better. Depending on who you ask, this is probably one of the best dithering plugins out there, if not the best one. And that's because by some bit of magic, it actually can sound, the noise floor is less than 16-bit. So it's less than negative 96 decibels. I don't know how they pulled that off, but yeah. And so if you want transparent dither, this is the one to get. M-Bit Plus, you can still hear it. If you amplify the reverb tails, you know, it has like a kind of like a hi-fi sound to it. This one just simply disappears into the ether. Pink 2. Simply put, this is my favorite equalizer plugin. It can do more than equalization, but I use it for equalization more than I use it for compression. It is just fantastic. And in fact, it has that. And then there's 4 in this standalone EQ module, because in this one you only get 3. Yeah, 3's enough, right? It should be. But if you want more, so a total of 5 EQs in this plugin. And then 2 compressors. Awesome, right? Including a multi-band. By the way, I'm using the alternative skin. By default, it doesn't look like this. You have to know the special code. Anyway, if pink is too expensive for you, or maybe you have an old computer, the one I recommend is Volco Audio. Their Q American series sounds really good. I actually compared this to the original version of Pink, which I loved and still have installed. I just don't have it on screen right now. But the original version of Pink sounds very similar to this plugin. They did a fantastic job. It doesn't have saturation or anything like that, but you do get the API 550A, 550B, and 560 in what I say is a clean format. And then finally, we have Purist Gain from Air Windows. This is probably my most used Air Windows plugin because, well, I know it sounds odd, but not all gain plugins are created equal. And this may be one of the best ones out there. I like it because you can set a more precise gain when automating, but perhaps more importantly, it lives up to its name, whereby it doesn't add anything extra or take away anything from the signal. Although if you want the most immaculate signal change, bit shift gain is the one to get. And both of these plugins are donationware, meaning that you can download them for free, but a donation is much appreciated. But yeah, bit shift gain is the one to get if you want a super pure signal. But if you want a pure signal, then this is the one to get. You may as well download them both, right? Everybody knows I like SonarWorks. Reference is just what measurement software should be. It's a shame that ARCs isn't as easy to use. But yeah, SonarWorks Reference, not cheap, but if you are professionally mixing audio and recording as well, and mastering, you have to get this plugin. That's all I gotta say. This is a freebie, and what it allows you to do is typing credits for the song that you're working on. You can also type notes in and all kinds of other stuff, and then you can, at the end, export to both PDF and XML. This is basically the industry standard credits format, and everything that I've worked on since I've heard about this plugin and heard about the standardization, I've used this plugin and it works really well. Is it perfect? No. The PDF doesn't export perfectly, but the XML file does, and it keeps things organized because guess what? Months down the line, you might forget who did what. Years down the line, you definitely will. This is always great to refer back to. TDR Nova, Tokyo Dawn Records / Labs. Ah, man. Nova. And it got even better with version 2. What can I say other than this plugin sounds great? I use it on all kinds of things, particularly piano and vocals. I love it. It's a freebie. If you like it a lot, get the Gentleman's Edition. It's like 50 bucks. And that's all I have to say. Next up is IEQ Pro. It's my other favorite clean EQ. Nova is the first one, but this one allows you to do so much more. I mean, look at all these different types of EQs you can do. That's insane, right? Usually I'm using this plugin to bypass the low end, but, you know, I bet you I can mix everything with this plugin. Plus, it has a cool multi-track feature that I love. And not only can you do serial mixing, but parallel mixing as well. So you have a different sound. The price is hard to beat on this plugin, especially when they have sales, but even during the normal pricing, it's very affordable. I call it the poor man's Pro Q alternative, and the only competition it really has is Crave DSP's EQ, which I don't own. I haven't tried out yet. Truth be told, IIEQ Pro does everything I need it to do in the clean domain.